man. It feels fucking wicked. Going down memory lane, man. I played this game when I was in, like, fucking middle school. I loved the writing, I loved the voice acting, the story. The overall ow.
What the hell?
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Ah! It hurt like hell.
I forgot about that. Fuck off. Woo. This is one of the only games I had back in the day, man. I no-lifed this game. I 100%ed it on Nightmare like fucking 4 times. I tried to play the game so much to see if I could speedrun it. Oh shit, they're fucking everywhere. Oh fuck, I forgot about this part. Oh fuck. So if you don't know, if you haven't played this, Alan Wake is a game about a writer named Alan Wake. He hadn't... he mostly wrote, like, crime dramas and stuff like that. All about, like, this character named, like, something Casey. I can't remember the name of, like, the main character of those books. But he was an incredibly successful writer. And then one day, like, he just stopped writing. He couldn't write anything. 2 years passed, and he's been having dry spells and, like, having a hard time writing and stuff like that. I want to turn down the audio, because the audio is really loud. But for, like, 2 straight years, he even says earlier in the game, he couldn't, like, put down a single word. He struggled so hard. And then... Ah! If I had a fucking flare gun, you guys would toast. Bastard. Hiding in the fucking bushes. I'm so bad. His wife decides what he needs is, you know, like a vacation, a time away from New York, and some time to be able to, like, recharge his creative batteries. Fuck. And so they go on this vacation to this place called Bright Falls, which is this, like, logging town that supposedly earlier on in the game, some of the characters had said that, like, oh, this place has had, like, a really weird history. And this game, or in the town, has had an incredibly weird history. You find that out later. Which is why all this... Oh, God, it's so loud. The past and the stuff that's happened in this town in the past, it kind of ties into what happens with Alan and his wife. And so, it seems to be that, like, all the crazy stuff... Ow! Oh! It seems to be that, like, his nightmares and all the crazy stuff he's written in his books are coming to life. Where, he had ideas to write this book called, The Departure. And The Departure was all about this character who came to this town and then started killing and was getting attacked by these shadowy creatures called the Taken. And these pages, these manuscripts from this book that he had planned are coming to life. It's like he knows he had written the pages and all the manuscripts, like you'll see here, but he doesn't remember writing them. Like, for example, these 2 pages right here, the Sudden Stop and the Sudden Stop 1 and 2, these are actually really interesting. All of these pages are manuscripts that you find throughout the game, and they're narrated by Alan Wake. And again, it's like stuff that he knows he would have written, but he didn't write these. These 2 pages here in particular are very special. There is an area in the 2nd chapter, which I'm currently in the 2nd chapter of the game, but at the beginning of the 2nd chapter, it's a memory. It's of Alan Wake and his wife in their apartment in New York, and he's like remembering a time when his wife was in a very vulnerable moment because his wife has a phobia of the darkness. And so she was having an episode because she was afraid of, you know, like the darkness. And then he introduced her to something that he used to use when he was a kid because he was afraid of the darkness when he was a kid. But these two manuscripts that you find in your apartment are not narrated by Alan Wake. My friend Gavin actually told me about this earlier. Check this out. This is so cool.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me.
It's the same voice actor for Max Payne, because Remedy, the company that made this game, also worked on the original Max Payne games.
This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now, my wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
If you all out there have played the original Max Payne, then you know how like traumatic of an experience that was for him, because all of that is what put him into his like spiraling abyss. But anyway, back to Alan Wake. You find these manuscripts throughout the game, and it's stuff that like is from a book that he wanted to write called The Departure, like stuff like this.
Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed.
Which, if you don't know, like for those who haven't played this game, you actually get to meet that woman in the black shadowy dress. She exists in this world. But that's what the game's about, is that like you're going through this world space where these pages of this book are coming to life. And that's such a cool concept for a video game. Like, you'd think something like this would have been made into a movie. But no, for a video game. Ah! And a survival horror game, no less. And keep in mind, too, this game came out back in, like, the day when, like, the Call of Duty games were at their height. A lot of games were, like, coming out trying to be like Call of Duty, and, like, a lot of them weren't as good. A lot of games were being filled with, QTEs and stuff like that. Woo! Whew! And as you can see, the whole mechanic is aiming the flashlight at the so-called Taken, and then burning the darkness off of them. And it even puts you through a tutorial at the beginning of the game saying that, I just picked up another manuscript page, saying that, like, shit yeah, hunting rifle. But it even says at the beginning of the game in the tutorial that these people are corrupted by the darkness. There's no saving them. So that's where you have to shoot them. But not only is the gunplay in this, like, really tight, but just the overall game itself is just, it's, oh god, I love this game. This was a really big part of my childhood. Because like I said, this was one of the only games I had back in the day. Not to mention, this game and Alan Wake's American Nightmare were literally some of the only games I played last on my my Xbox 360 before I canned it and then came over to PC. And even the inner monologue that Alan Wake has, it adds a lot to the story. But I played on PC from time to time. I generally played like games like Team Fortress 2, and I played Quake, and motherfucker. What, dude? But I played games like Quake and TF2 and stuff like that. But it wasn't until like the whole Xbox One, PS4 thing was starting to happen. Those consoles were being made, and just a few months before they were about to start being mass-produced and released, that was the time I made the switch. I made the actual switch to PC. I got a job, I built myself a computer, and I never looked back. But I'm so fortunate to be able to come back and play great games like this, and have the same memories I had back then now. God, I love this game. Now, I know for some people this game, you know, might not look the greatest, but like I said, this thing was like 2009, 2010. This game was pretty old. The voice the voice acting, in my opinion, is good. The lip sync is a little off. Some of the textures are kind of... Look at these textures. I'm running this game on high, by the way. Look at these textures. But this game was not entirely meant for a PC audience. This, like I said, this game was like back in the day when console games were like reigning supreme, you know, with like some of the older Call of Duty games, Modern Warfare 2. God, what is that noise? That's scary. But if you still have the opportunity to get this, please get it, because it's fucking great. And I hope that maybe you'll be able to enjoy it the same way that I enjoyed it all those years ago. Give me this. Granted, I probably enjoyed it differently because, like I said, this was one of the only games I had. Alright, motherfucker. Ugh! Woo! But as you can see, you're able to point the flashlight still at people without having to focus it. But focusing it makes the beam stronger. It gets rid of the darkness quicker, and you need it for the bigger guys. Ow. Fuck. Fuck. One thing I thought was actually kind of goofy in this game is surprisingly it has product placement. I thought that was so ridiculous. I still think that's ridiculous. This has product placement for, if I remember correctly, Duracell batteries and Verizon cell phones. How ridiculous is that shit? And that's another cool thing, too. The gunplay, like I said, is really tight because you have to aim with the flashlight. You don't aim with the gun. But you can get different types of weapons. You can get shotguns, you can get hunting rifles, you can get, like, an under-over break-action hunting shotgun, you can get a pump shotgun. Oh, shit! Oh! I walked into it! Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit! Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not... this is a good game, I promise. This is a good game, I promise. Oh, I remember this. I remember this part. Ow. The fucking black goo. I swear to God, I've played video games before, you guys, I promise. And I want to do, like, more videos like this. I want to do, like, memory lane videos where, like, I just kind of kick. Oh, kick it. Shit, yeah. Where I just kind of go back and play old games that I've played back in the day. Do I have to? I do have to jump that. I just, like, play old games and I talk about them. Talk about my experiences. Give me them flares. You don't have to get rid of these, but sometimes in, like, hectic fights, you want to get rid of those so you don't touch them. Because as you saw earlier, they do damage, and they hurt. They hurt a lot.
Be aware of Widowmakers.
Because if you get hit in this game a lot, especially when you play Nightmare Mode, you get punished for that pretty hard. Because everything in this game hurts, and it hurts hard. The fucking bolt animation. Manuscript page. Give me that. Hell yeah. Yeah, and there's like little caches. There's like little boxes filled with ammunition and tools and stuff like that. And stuff that has manuscript pages scattered everywhere. And they're hidden. And there's those little thermoses that are hidden throughout the world that you got to find too. Another thing I really like about this game is that there are TVs and there are radios that you can activate and listen to like radio broadcasts and watch little TV shows. You get to watch this TV show called Night Springs. It's supposed to be like a what's the word I'm looking for? It's supposed to be kind of like a science fiction horror TV show, kind of like The Twilight Zone, but it's meant in this world. But when you get to watch them and listen to them, Alan Wake a lot of the time will react to them. Like, it's just that little attention to detail. It really adds a lot of character and a lot of layers to a game like this. Jesus! Oh, hi there. Oh, I say you dickhead. Ooh, fuck! But you really need to watch out for these big guys, because they can charge into you, and they do a lot of damage. Whew. Man, those guys are no joke. But I just love this game, man. I love this game, dudes. Fuck! I forgot about this. God, that chainsaw's huge. And that reminds me, too, not only are there different weapons, but you can get different flashlights. Some that are bigger, some that are much stronger. Woo! Oh, man. Those bigger guys always fucking wig me out, man. I totally forgot about the chainsaw ones. And I'm getting a phone call.
Barry?
Ow! The porch is covered with birds. They've got all Hitchcock on me.
Stay out of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door.
What am I, crazy?
Stay hidden. I'll be there soon. Just make sure you keep the lights on.
And now we're going to go see Barry, his editor and best friend. Hello? Oh, I don't want to go through that yet. Ooh. Can I go into the femal bathroom? Maybe I'll find a thermos. Hello? Nice. Yeah, see?
A story is not a machine that does what you tell it. A story is a beast with a life of its own. You can create it, shape it, but as the story grows, it starts wanting things of its own. Change one thing and you set off a chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing. The characters have to be true to themselves. The events need to follow a logic that fits the story. A single flaw and the magic is gone. The story dies. Alice dies.
Now you see what I mean. It's almost as if there's like something going on where like Alan is writing all these manuscripts but he doesn't know about it, which ties into some stuff that happens. Oh! Which that concept ties into stuff that happens much later in the game, literally so much later that the one gripe I actually have about this game, the one thing I didn't like about this game, is that they cliffhanger the fuck out of the ending, and then the last two levels that you get to play are DLC levels. And it's the true ending to the game. That shit was fucking ridiculous. But the DLC levels get really dark, and they get like really survival horror-y. Like it's... Oh, I just came from here, what the fuck? But those two levels really tie up the ending, and I'm not gonna say anything. If you're someone who's watching this and like you haven't played this game, I'm not gonna say anything. I just want you to be able to get the game and play it. This game's been out for fucking ever. It's dirt cheap. If you play on console, you can probably get it for dirt cheap. There's driving in this! I forgot! There's driving in this! Oh my god. Oh my god. Reverse. Forward. Oh, we're going off-roading, boys. Yeah. Bastard. Oh yeah, and there's also kind of like a pseudo stamina system in this, but you don't have a stamina bar. Like he'll just run like this. And when he starts breathing, that's when you know like he's getting tired. So, like, that's when he starts to slow down and he fucking walks like a toddler. You see? Like this. Fuck off, dickhead. Oh my god. Now let's get back to the car. Oh yeah, and then obviously there's dodging. Which the dodging is really helpful. Like, I feel like more games need, like, especially like third-person shooters, I feel like more third-person shooters kind of need, like, a dodging system. I mean, like, oh, big third-person shooters are all about shooting. Yeah, but sometimes you get melee enemies. No, but seriously, sometimes you do get melee enemies, and, like, that's a counter. Being able to have melee enemies like that in a third-person shooter is a counter to taking cover, like, a lot. Those melee characters are supposed to take you out of cover a lot. So it'd be kind of nice to have, like, a dodging system. Oh, yes, a flare gun.
The best weapon I could imagine against the dark things I was facing.
Oh! Fuck you guys! Oh, hell yeah. Give me some of that good light. And, obviously these light fixtures, these light poles, are checkpoints. And, not only that, but they heal you and they refill your stamina. Because that's the whole concept, light versus dark, and stuff like that, good versus evil.
It was the kidnapper.
You son of a bitch! Where's my wife?
Enough horseplay, Wake. You deliver the manuscript, and you can have your woman back. Simple as that.
I don't... Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it. I still need to write the ending. I need a week.
It's not done.
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you'll get your wife. If not, well, get me.
Yes, I get you.
So as you can see, Alan here is in a world of shit. But, that's just at the surface. That's the surface level. There is something much darker and much
Barry
more
had
sinister.
talked about birds over the phone.
Oh, my boy Barry, he's in trouble. But there's something much darker and much more sinister going on. And it's up to you to discover what's been going on.
Al! Al, I am so glad you're here. A couple of them got in here before I blocked the kids. This isn't normal. These birds are weird.
You're right, Barry. They are weird. You're absolutely right. Oof. Woo! That hurts. Woo! Woo! Barry, I can't hear what you're saying, homie. Ow! Fucker! No!
You can open the door now. They're gone.
Hey, Al. I'm sorry for thinking you were having a psychotic episode, man.
This is my boy Barry!
I sent Barry to the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnapper's description. He'd go through the archives of the local paper. Perhaps he could learn something. Anything about the island and the cabin that had disappeared. The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try to write him one to get Alice back. For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for real. and I couldn't put a single word on paper.
Barry Wheeler speaking.
This is Rose.
Rose?
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Oh, you sweet, brilliant girl.
Could you and Mr. Wake come get them? I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll be there in less than an hour.
Bye now.
See you soon.
Have a great day. Hope you come back soon. Welcome to the old dear diner.
Good girl.
Man,
Pretty please, can you tell me where I am? You, won't you say something?
well, that was,
I need to get my
I recorded this a little later, but that was pretty much almost the entirety of episode 2, besides that bigger half chunk that I didn't record. But there's a lot more to Alan Wake, and this is a damn good game. If you can get your hands on it, I would suggest you get your hands on it. And, I'm gonna play more of this. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna press the not record button no more. Yeah!